You ever like hear about a book or like read about a book or like watch a review on a book and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting, and then like you like write it down on a list or like add it to your Goodreads like to read list or whatever, and then like you forget what it was about as to why you put it on your list, but like you know that it's good, otherwise you wouldn't have put it on your list? That's how this book is.
1, 2, 3, let's switch this up.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another tag. I'm going to be doing the end of the year tag. So we're going to just jump right into it. I have my list of questions right next to me, and the first question is, are there any books you need to finish by the end of the year? So yes, I started reading Death Note. It's a manga. I think I might even have it. Here we go. Started reading Death Note. I'm on chapter 4. Or somewhere around chapter 4. I can't remember exactly. I'm on page 114. So I would like to finish this before the end of the year. I don't know if I will, just because I have other books. Like, this was something that I just kind of like picked up just because like I couldn't wait to like read it. So I kind of like picked it up. But there are other books that I actually want to read, especially for the month of December, which I'll probably get into some of those books a little bit later in some of these other questions. But yes, the first question is, there a book that I want to finish before the end of the year? Yes, I would like to, ideally, finish Death Note before the end of the year. The concept of Death Note is actually like really interesting. It's basically about this guy who stumbles upon a death note. It's like a notebook with a bunch of names in it, and there's a bunch of rules on how it works and how to use it. But essentially, like, the very like cut and dry black and white of it is, you write a person's name down in this book, and when you write their name down in the book, they die. Like, next question says, do you have any autumnal books to transition into the end of the year? And I think I do. I don't really know because I haven't read the book, but I'm assuming because it's a dark academia that it will have some autumnal vibes. And that book is The Maidens by, is it Alex McLadies? I don't know how to say the last name, but that is the book that I'm planning to read. That's on my TBR, that I'm assuming and hoping will have some autumnal vibes, just because it is, like I said, a dark academia book. So I guess that's my answer. Hopefully I'm right. I don't know. I guess I'll find out when I read the book. Next says, is there a new release you're still waiting for? So not anymore. If I had done this video like a week or two ago, then maybe. But the last two books that I was waiting for, I think both came out in November. So I'm pretty sure they're both out by the time you are watching this video. I was waiting for The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, which I think came out November like 15th, I don't remember. And then Five Survive by Holly Jackson was the other book that I was waiting for, and I think that came out like the end of November, like maybe like the 29th or something along those lines. I don't think there are any books coming out in December that I'm like waiting for or anticipating, but there are definitely some releases coming out next year that I am definitely looking forward to, and that'll be in a completely separate video. Next question is, what are 3 books you still want to read by the end of the year? So this is where we'll get into like my TBR for December. So 3 books, since that's what it asked for, that are on my TBR for December is Love Like Farms by B.K. Borison. I have somewhere, it's probably not over here, but I have Mixed Signals. I have a signed copy of Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison. Pretty sure they're like an interconnected standalone, because there's another one, I think it's called In the Weeds, but don't quote me on that. And then I think they're all like interconnected standalones. But I do want to read Love Like Farm. I believe that was the first book that came out. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that book is about a girl who's trying to save like a Christmas tree farm. So she enters like a contest to win a sweepstakes or win like a monetary prize. And part of her entering the contest, she like said that she had a boyfriend, or that she owned the farm with the boyfriend, or something about a boyfriend that she doesn't actually have. And then I think she uses her like best friend and like pretends that like her best friend is her boyfriend or something along those lines. So it's like fake dating. I don't know if it's gonna be like friends to lovers or not, but it's definitely some fake dating going on already. But it's like a holiday, like it's about like a Christmas tree farm, like very like seasonal for the month of December. So that is the first book on my list that I definitely want to read for the month of December. So Love Like Farms, I believe, is considered a rom-com. So there's another rom-com that I definitely want to read for the month of December, and that is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. And so this book is like, for me, it's like the ultimate trope. Like anything that has to do with like time manipulation, whether you're like going forwards or backwards in time, like time traveling, If you're like living days out of order, if you're, in this case, repeating the same day over and over again. Like, I love stories like that, whether it's a book, a TV show, a movie. That is my thing. I don't know why, but like I am obsessed with those kinds of storylines. So In a Holidays is basically about this girl who keeps repeating. I think she goes to like some state. She goes to like Utah maybe?
Today, Junior?
For Christmas, I'm assuming, or some holiday, she goes to Utah. And like when it's over, she's like going home. Something happens. I don't know if she gets into a car accident, but something happens and she like blacks out. When she wakes up, she's like at the start of the day again, like on her way to Utah instead of on her way home from Utah. And she has to keep repeating this day over and over again until she figures out how to like break the cycle or break the loop. So I'm really looking forward to this. I've never read anything by Christina Lauren before, so I am excited that this will be like the first book that I'll be reading of theirs. I have high hopes for it, so we'll see. So 2 rom-coms down, and then the third book that I want to read for the month of December is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa. Oh gosh, what is that? What is the last name? Mashfeg? I don't remember how to say the name. And I don't even remember what that book is about. You ever like hear about a book or like read about a book or like watch a review on a book and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting, and then like you like write it down on a list or like add it to your Goodreads like to read list or whatever, and then like you forget what it was about as to why you put it on your list, but like you know that it's good, otherwise you wouldn't have put it on your list. That's how this book is. Our narrator should be happy, shouldn't she? She's young, thin, pretty, and a recent Columbia graduate, works an easy job at a hip art gallery, lives in an apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, paid for like the rest of her needs by her inheritance. But there's a dark and vacuous hole in her heart, and it isn't just the loss of her parents or the way her Wall Street boyfriend treats her or her sadomasochist relationship with her best friend Reba. It's the year 2000 in a city of glitter with wealth and possibility. What could go so terribly wrong? My Year of Rest and Relaxation is a powerful answer to that question. Through the story of a year spent under the influence of a truly mad combination of drugs designed to heal our heroine from her alienation from this world, Mosafeg, I don't know if I'm saying that name right, shows us how reasonable, even necessary, alienation can be. So that just sounded interesting to me. I'm just like, this girl sounds like she pretty much has what most people like would consider like a good life. So, and then clearly like she's still like unhappy, or there's still something that she feels like is missing. So I'm very curious to see. And it's a really short book. I don't know where, I must have left all my books in the room where my actual bookshelf is, because I don't have any of the books that I'm talking about in front of me. I apologize. Next question is there a book that you think could shock you and become a new favorite for the year? And based on what I have left to read for the year, like what's on my TBR, the only thing that I think, or that I'm kind of honestly hoping might shock me and like become a favorite, is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, just because it deals with that whole concept of like repeating the same day over and over again, and like I said, I love stuff like that. So I think if anything, that would be the one that would like surprise me and like be added to my list of like 5-star reads for the year. Next question, have you already started making reading plans for 2023? So yes, I definitely have some books already like planned, especially for January. I've definitely started like planning that out, and then there's like a bunch of like series that I want to get to, and that'll be a whole other video. But specifically for January, Ace by Angela Chen, I think is who it's by, is a book about asexuality, so that is definitely on my list. I've actually had that on my TBR probably since the summertime, but I think I'm actually going to get to it for the month of January. So that is on my list for 2023. The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. If I'm not mistaken, I think The Do-Over is also like the time loop repeating day trope. So of course that is going to be on my list for 2023. Like I said, I love that stuff. And then the last book that I have on this list that I specifically want to read and that I have a plan to read in January, we'll see how that goes, but it's The Fear by, I think it's Natasha Preston. When I looked it up, something I saw online said that if you liked A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, then you would like this book. And if you haven't already seen, I think it was my September reading wrap up, that Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the first book anyway, I gave 5 stars. So of course I will read anything that compares itself to that, because I thought that book was great. So, and it also, like on the cover, which if I haven't already shown, I'll show it, or I'll show it again, but there's like snow and stuff on the cover, so it's giving like winter vibes. So those are 3 books that I already know that I want to read in 2023, and I'm hoping to read them specifically like next month, like in January, like kick off the year with those 3. So my camera literally just fell, so if it's in a different place from where it was like 2 seconds ago, that's why. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, consider yourself tagged. I did not create this tag. I don't take credit for this tag. Comment down below what your reading plans are for the end of the year, and also if you have any plans for 2023 reading. All of my socials, Goodreads, Amazon lists will all be down below in the description box. As always, do all that YouTube stuff, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Sexual gratification from both sadism and masochism? What the heck?